In 1532, 168 Spanish conquistadors faced an empire of 12 million people. By sunset, the greatest civilization in the Americas lay in ruins. This is the shocking story of betrayal, greed, and the single moment that changed history forever. Picture this. Atahualpa, the mighty Inca emperor, sits on his golden throne surrounded by 80,000 warriors. He's never seen a horse, never heard of gunpowder, and has no idea that 168 bearded strangers are about to destroy everything he knows. The Inca Empire stretched 2,500 miles along South America's spine. Their roads rivaled Rome's, their architecture defied earthquakes, and their gold, so abundant they called it sweat of the sun. But none of that would save them. Francisco Pizarro wasn't your typical conquistador. This illiterate pig farmer had already failed twice in the New World. But he had something deadlier than swords or cannons. He had studied Cortez's playbook from Mexico. The plan was audacious beyond belief. Capture the god emperor of millions with just 168 men. It sounded impossible, but Pizarro knew something Atahualpa didn't. The empire was already cracking from within. Civil war had ravaged the Inca Empire for years. Atahualpa had just defeated his brother Huascar in a bloody conflict that split the kingdom. The wounds were fresh, loyalties uncertain, and the empire vulnerable. November 16th, 1532, the town of Cajamarca. Atahualpa agrees to meet these strange, pale visitors, confident in his divine power. He brings no weapons. After all, what could 168 foreigners possibly do to a living god? But Pizarro had positioned his men like pieces on a chessboard. Hidden cavalry, concealed cannons, and steel-armored soldiers waited in the shadows. The trap was set, and the emperor was walking straight into it. When Atahualpa entered the plaza, a Spanish priest approached with a Bible, demanding he convert to Christianity. The emperor, confused by this foreign book, threw it to the ground. That was the signal Pizarro had been waiting for. Suddenly, cannons roared like thunder gods. Horses, creatures the Incas thought were mythical beasts, charged through terrified warriors. Steel swords cut through cotton armor like paper. In 2 hours, 7,000 Incas lay dead. But the real betrayal was just beginning. Atahualpa, now captive, offered a ransom that would echo through history. Enough gold to fill a room 17 feet wide, 22 feet long, and 8 feet high, plus twice that amount in silver. For months, gold poured into Cajamarca from across the empire. Sacred temple ornaments, artistic masterpieces, religious artifacts, all melted down into bars. The Spanish couldn't believe their eyes. They were witnessing the greatest treasure haul in history. Atahualpa kept his word. The room filled with gold worth $200 million in today's money. But Pizarro had never intended to honor the deal. The emperor had served his purpose, and dead gods couldn't rally their people to rebellion. July 26, 1533. Despite paying the ransom, Atahualpa was executed. But here's the twisted irony. The Spanish offered him a choice: burn as a pagan or convert to Christianity and be strangled. He chose strangulation, hoping to preserve his body for the afterlife. With their god-emperor dead, the Inca Empire didn't just collapse. It disintegrated. Spanish diseases followed the conquistadors, killing 90% of the population. Smallpox, typhus, and measles succeeded where swords had failed. The psychological warfare was devastating. How could their sun god allow this? Inca religion, government, and society were all built around the emperor's divinity. His death shattered their entire worldview in ways the Spanish couldn't have imagined. But the betrayal went deeper than Spanish treachery. Many Inca nobles, resentful of Atahualpa's recent victory over Huascar, actually helped the conquistadors. They thought they could use these foreigners to settle old scores. These indigenous allies guided Spanish forces, provided intelligence, and even fought alongside conquistadors. They believed they could control the situation, use the Spanish, then return to their old ways. They were catastrophically wrong. If you're finding this story as shocking as we are, smash that subscribe button because we're uncovering history's most incredible betrayals and hidden truths every week. You won't want to miss what we reveal next. The Spanish divided the empire among themselves, but governing 12 million people proved harder than conquering them. Rebellions erupted constantly. The most significant came in 1536 when Manco Inca nearly recaptured Cusco. For 36 years, the last Inca holdouts fought from the hidden city of Vilcabamba. They waged guerrilla warfare, ambushed Spanish convoys, and kept hope alive. But eventually, even the mountains couldn't protect them from Spanish steel and native disease. 1572. Tupac Amaru, the last Inca emperor, was captured and executed in Cusco's main square. Thousands of indigenous people wept as their final link to the old world died. The Inca Empire was officially extinct. Today, Quechua languages survive, ancient agricultural techniques endure, and archaeological wonders like Machu Picchu inspire millions. But the civilization that built roads through impossible mountains and worshipped the sun is gone forever. The fall of the Incas reminds us how quickly empires can crumble and how betrayal often comes from within. What other shocking historical betrayals do you want us to investigate? Subscribe now and let us know in the comments below. Tell us which country or city you're watching from. See you in the next video. Bye.